Hello guys, today we're going to be doing a video on Dying Light 2 using the FSR 2.0 mod. We're going to be using a GTX 1050 Ti and we're going to be starting it off with 1080p with the high preset. Alright, we're finally in the game. This is it's pretty unplayable and pretty awful to watch actually. Getting 20 FPS outside. Let's run around for a little bit. See how the game runs. As long as you don't actually play with the mouse, it looks okay, but as soon as you start turning around, that's when it starts falling apart and it feels really laggy. But as you can see, the game looks very sharp. Or sharp enough for 1080p. Can't really complain about this right now, looks pretty good. Now using FSR Ultra Quality mode. Looks slightly blurry. But it's not too bad to be honest, it looks pretty decent still. This game actually looks far better than Cyberpunk when you turn on FSR. Cyberpunk, the game just falls apart when you enable FSR, especially at 1080p. At 1440p it's kind of decent, same with 4K, but you only get to use the ultra quality mode, or quality mode at best. Once you fall down into the balance presets, that's when it starts to really fall apart in the image quality. Alright, now I dropped the settings down to balance, just to find the perfect spot for it to be playable. And we pretty much hold 30 FPS at this point. We might get some dips into the high 20s, but you know what, for the most part we are holding 30 here. And if you're using a controller, this is perfectly playable. This is how it is on console, so it's pretty good still. But as you can see, the image quality is way worse. Now the FSR 2.0 mod here is the same as the one that's used in Cyberpunk, with one file that's different, but everything else is the same installation process. I am playing in offline mode because I don't know if this game has an anti-cheat, because it is co-op. It probably doesn't have an anti-cheat, but still playing offline for this. Not risk anything. Now this looks far worse than what we got with FSR. Without the mod, this is the stock FSR I'm comparing it to. But even though we're playing at quality mode, this looks really blurry. Far more blurry than what we got with FSR. At balance as well. FPS is a lot better. At quality mode, we're getting pretty much 30. We do get some dips into the high 20s. But this is still playable as well. Alright, let's go ahead and actually enable the FSR 2.0 mod, which is the DLSS mode pretty much. It takes over it. And we're going to be using the quality preset since I don't think there's an ultra quality. All out of order. Yeah, alright, we're going to stick with DLSS quality. There we go, look at that. That's definitely saved now. I can tell the quality. This looks really good. We're getting some issues with the actual air that's coming out of the vents. Looks kind of weird, but other than that, it actually looks extremely sharp. FPS obviously is like not the best. We gained 4 or 5 FPS. By using FSR 2.0. Now the FSR 2.0 mod in Cyberpunk didn't give us as many frames as the default FSR that's built into the game, but it looked far better. And this is definitely the same case here. FPS is not the best, but let's go ahead and bring it down to balanced. I think it's to the left here, right? This is balanced. Wow. FPS is still not the best. We only gained an extra 3 FPS I think. This looks far better than what we had with FSR and linear. But again, FPS is not the best, not really playable. It only gave us like 6 FPS now, 6-7 FPS from what we had before. We were sitting at 16 to 18 FPS without using any upscaling technology. And with it enabled, we're getting, 6-7 FPS, which is decent I guess. But it still doesn't let you play this game at high settings. Alright, using DLSS performance now. This is our lowest mode we can go. This looks good, but there's like a slight blurriness to it. So this looks like playing in between FSR quality and balanced. There's a slight blur to it, but again, FPS is still not in the range where it's playable. Whereas with FSR and balanced, we had more blurriness, but it was definitely playable at that point. Alright, now we're playing the game at the low preset. Everything is dropped down to the lowest settings. And we're barely holding 30 right now. The game still looks pretty fantastic. We just got some dips into the 20s there looking this way. But this is definitely playable. But let's go ahead and stand up here again and look in the same direction. Using the balance preset. As you can see, this looks basically like it's running at native, even at 1080p. This looks amazing. And we gained 16 FPS for it as well. So this gives us a lot more headroom in case of a heavy scene where we can actually hold above 30 or above 40 even with these. Let's go ahead and do a side-by-side comparison, and we can actually see which one looks better. Alright, as you guys saw there, the mod looks really good. just as good as the game running at native. And we're running at balance as well. We weren't using quality, there's no ultra quality, and the game was still looking really good. But now comparing it to the actual default FSR that comes with the game, it did get less FPS like I was expecting it to. We're getting 46 to 45 FPS with the mod, and with the default FSR at balance, we're getting 55 FPS. So it's a bit less, but this is an early access mod. It's very early in its development, so it's still really impressive to see it running this well and looking this good as well. Now, I believe this mod also works with Red Dead Redemption 2 as well, so I plan on making a video on that later on in a couple of weeks probably. Alright, that's it for the video guys. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it useful. If you did, give it a like, and a sub to the channel, we highly appreciate it as well. See you next time.